Hello and welcome to the Dungeonrunner rules summary. We're going to take a quick look at the rules of the game here. Now, learning Dungeonrunner isn't difficult at all, but you'll find there are still tight decisions to be made. So let's get right into it. For this example, we'll be using the Castle of Emperor's Inn basic adventure deck, or as we call them, hack packs. Now the first thing we're going to do is take the hero out of the hack pack and place it in front of you. Now in the case of the Castle of Emperor's Inn, it comes with a hero called the Lowly Thief, who was either imprisoned and trying to get out of the castle, or trying to break in to steal something, of course. So, on a slip of paper, we're going to want to track two things about the hero. That's how many hit points the hero has, and how many power points the hero has. Now, regardless of the hero, every hero starts with 3 power points. But each hero does have a different number of hit points, which is located here on the card, in this case 5. So for this example, we'll be using the template board and tokens to track the hit points and power points, which is available as an add-on to the Kickstarter. So now that the game is set up, let's start a turn. And to do that, all we have to do is simply draw a card. And once the card's instructions have been resolved, the turn is over and you draw a new card. Simple enough, right? So let's draw one. And hey, it's a Potion of Healing. That's a great way to start an adventure. The Potion of Healing is an item card. So under the title, it has a gold value. That way you can sell it later if you wish. Under that is the type of item, in this case a potion, because some cards affect certain types of items. And underneath the picture is the instructions on how to use the potion. Now I got the funniest feeling we're going to use this later, so for right now let's just place it near the hero. The hero can hold up to 6 item cards, so right now he's got plenty of room, and we'll gladly place this aside for safekeeping. Well, that was simple so far, so let's draw the next card. Uh-oh, it looks like we got a dumb guard blocking our path. Now normally with any monster we can get right into the fight, but this card has some instructions on it and we always have to read those first. So it says, make a wit check. If passed, pass dumb guard. Okay, that sounds pretty good. We could pass the dumb guard without a fight. Sounds like a thiefy thing to do. So let's do that. Well, first we gotta understand what a wit check is. So let's take a look at the hero. On the left of the hero, there are 6 attributes that define that hero on a scale of 1 to 10. The higher the number, the better the hero is at that attribute. So as we can see, this thief isn't the strongest guy in the world with a might score of 4, but he is a rather witty chap with a wit score of 6. So to make a check, in this case a wit check, roll a 10-sided die, and if we get a result equal or less than the hero's wit, the check is passed. This is as simple as that. So we roll the die and get a 3, definitely less than a 6. So it looks like the thief talked his way out of getting arrested by the dumb guard. So the card is passed. Passed cards go to what is called limbo, which is pretty much a fancy name for the discard pile. So we'll discard the dumb guard and this ends the turn. So far so good. Let's draw another card. Oh great, our first event, and it's a pit trap. Looks rather nasty too, so let's read the instructions. Make an agility check. Okay, we know how to do that. Let's keep reading. If failed, hero falls into the trap and takes a hit. Okay. If failed by 3 or more, hero must make another agility check. If failed, hero is impaled through the eye by a pike and dies. Well, that would be a quick end to the adventure. Certainly some old school gaming going on here. So let's make that agility check. Let's go back to the hero. So we have a thief with an agility of 6, so that's good. But wait, there's a special instruction about traps on the hero. The hero can spend a power point to get a +2 to any attribute against lock or trap events, which this definitely is. So I think since falling could mean the ultimate demise of our shady little hero, I think it's safe to say we should spend the power point to get the bonus. So now our agility is a whopping 8 for this check. Alright, we roll the dice and we get a 9. Are you kidding me? Okay, well it looks like we lose a hit point. So scratch one off there. Obviously when we lose all our hit points the hero dies, but obviously we're not there yet, so that's good. Now luckily our wit was raised high enough by the bonus that we only missed the roll by 1 and do not have to check to see if we automatically die through a spike in the eye. So although a little hurt, we can still pass the card and send it to limbo and end the turn. Okay, well it looks like we drew another event card, but this one seems to be working more in our favor. This is a secret passage. Make a wit check. If successful, skip DD10 cards. Okay. Well, our wit's a 6 and we roll a 2. Okay, we've passed it. So skip DD10 cards. DD10, what's that? Well, actually, it's quite simple. Roll the 10-sided die twice and subtract the smaller number from the larger number with a minimum result of 1. So we roll an 8 and a 4. 8 minus 4 is 4, so that's the result. So we take 4 cards from the adventure deck and place them into limbo without looking at them. Of course, we placed a secret passage in there too. So that made our journey through the upper deck a little bit easier. So let's draw another card and start another turn. Things seem to be going in our favor. I spoke too soon. It's a gargoyle. Look at this thing. Just under its name it has a level, okay? And levels are a rating for monsters from 1 to 5. Now this is a level 4 monster, which means it's pretty nasty and rare, as compared to the Dumb Guard earlier, which only had a level 1. Now back on the hero card, there is another ability that we want to take advantage of. We can see that we can spend a power point to attempt to get away from any monster if we make an agility check. It's a nice skill to have, and I'd gladly try it here, so let's do it. And we roll a 7 and fail. Well, that's depressing. But it was worth the shot. I mean, I don't think this is going to go terribly well for our slanky thief. As before, we have to read the instructions before combat begins. Make a wit check. If failed, Gargoyle swoops down on the hero and gains initiative. Now, having initiative in combat means who gets to strike first, which is a nice advantage to have. Now, usually the hero always has initiative unless the monster says it does. So let's make a wit check and see what happens. Okay, we roll a 2 and keep the initiative. Great. So let's attack. So let's look at the hero card again. Now, at the top there are 3 numbers, and it represents TWAC, armor class, and hit points. Now, we already know what hit points are for. But TWAC stands for 2 wound armor class, or TWAC if you will. And that's the number we're going to use when we attack. So we roll a d10 and add the result to our TWAC score. And we roll a 9. And so we add the TWAC score of 5, and that gets us a result of 14. So now the monster defends by rolling a die and adding its armor class located here on its card. It rolls an 8, and it adds its armor class of 6. So that gives it a total of 14 as well. So it's a tie. However, heroes always win on ties, so the attack hits. The gargoyle loses 1 hit point from the attack. Since the gargoyle has 2 hit points, it's still alive and gets to attack back. So this time it's the gargoyle who gets to roll and adds its TWAC score. In this case, it rolls a 6 and adds its TWAC score of 7 for a total of 13. And go figure, we roll a lousy 2 and add 7 from our armor class for a total of 9. So it looks like our hero gets hit. Scratch off another point for the hero. But it's our turn again, and this time we roll a 5 and add our TWAC of 5 for a total of 10. But luckily the gargoyle flops a 1 and adds its armor class of 6 for a total of 7. So that being the last hit points that the gargoyle has, it's defeated and goes to limbo. So that went better than I thought, but we're still a little battered and have a long way to go through the deck. I think it may be time to drink that potion of healing. So let's take a look at the potion of healing and see what it can do for us. It says to send the potion of healing to Oblivion to heal 2 hit points. Well, what's Oblivion? Well, Oblivion is a special kind of discarding which places the card out of the game entirely. You see, every so often cards can come back from limbo back into the main deck, which usually isn't pleasant because it's filled with monsters and traps. However, useful cards like the Potion of Healing get sent to Oblivion never to be used again, which in this case is quite a shame. But look on the bright side, we're healed up to full now and can continue the adventure without too much worry. For now. So that should give you a basic overview of how to play Dungeonrunner. Now there's much more to the game, such as allies, curses, blessings, places, and so on. And each deck is filled with many special items, monsters, and events, and special combos that bring their own challenges and rewards. We have 9 different decks ready to be printed, 3 basic, 3 expert level, and 3 master decks to complete the set, each with its own hero and adventures. That is just under 500 cards in total. With that many cards,